with Scripture. Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is lots of light in them. No, because there is no light in them. The message of the prophet must line up with Scripture, with biblical principles. Test number 3. First of all, the personal life will be in harmony with Scripture. Secondly, the message will agree with Scripture. And thirdly, the ministry will exalt Christ as the Son of God. Christ as the Son of God. Now, in case you feel that I might be making this one up, let's look at 1 John chapter 4, verses 2 and 3. By this you know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that does not confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist. The one who is opposed to God. Not a true prophet, friends. Which you have heard was coming and now, or is now already in the world. John says, hey, if they're trying to tell you some gimmick about Jesus coming just as a spirit or, whatever the case, no, He came in the flesh. Jesus Christ lived as a man here on this earth. So the ministry will exalt Christ as the Son of God. Admit that He has come in the flesh. And test number 4, the ministry of the prophet will be confirmed by fulfilled predictions. You can go down and see all kinds of predictions made in the newspaper there at Walmart as you're checking out. All kinds of tabloids and things going on. And if you were to waste your time and try to see how many came true, you'd be sorely disappointed. These are not true prophets of God. The true prophet of God will be confirmed by fulfilled predictions. We find support for this in Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 9. As for the prophet who prophesies of peace, when the word of the prophet comes to pass, the prophet will be known as one whom the Lord has truly sent. The word of the prophet will be established. Friends, these tests are the only way to know the difference between a prophet of God and one trying to destroy God's people. Remember, the devil is seeking to devour all that he can as a roaring lion. We must be on guard. Again, Jesus said in Matthew 24, that the devil will attempt to deceive even the elect, if that were possible. This is no game. It's nothing to make light of. This is serious business, friends. I believe our lives depend on it. One of the 2 characteristics of the people living in the last days was having the testimony of Jesus. And this is identified by John as the spirit of prophecy. Therefore, one of the characteristics of God's last day people is the presence of the gift of prophecy. We touched briefly on this last week. The remnant, God's last day people, will have the presence of the gift of prophecy. Now, if you were to Google modern day prophets, as I did this week, you will find all kinds of individuals claiming that they have messages from God. All kinds. Modern day prophets. Maybe you haven't seen any lately. It's interesting, the things that they have to say. And if you were to do this, I would invite you to use the tests given in Scripture to test anyone who claims to be a prophet of God. Anyone. It doesn't matter. If they don't fall in line with the tests found in Scripture, they're not of God. As I apply the test of a prophet, there's at least one person who I believe passes all the scriptural tests of a prophet. I believe that the life, ministry, and writings of Ellen G. White fully meet the requirements of a prophet as found in Scripture. There are several reasons that I believe this to be true. I don't expect you just to believe my word, just because I'm standing up here. I hope you don't. Paul said the Bereans were better than the Thessalonians because they studied what Paul had to say. If you just go by face value what the pastor says, friends, it could be trouble. But there are reasons that I believe in the ministry of Ellen White. First, when reading her writings, I have found that one is continually brought back to Scripture. Continually. When I read Steps to Christ and Desire of Ages, sorry, I got ahead there. I find myself continually reading passages of Scripture over and over again. I find myself being drawn to Scripture. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Steps to Christ, Desire of Ages. These are books written by Ellen White. On your way out today, if you want Steps to Christ, we have available in the foyer. It's a small book. It's a wonderful read. I encourage you, take a copy. Take it home and read it. And apply the test of Scripture to this author. Secondly, again, we'll continually be brought back to Scripture. Secondly, I believe that the predictions that Ellen White has made, though not many, have been fulfilled and are being fulfilled.